Dive into the ultimate battle of football brilliance, Pep Guardiola versus Hansi Flick. Explore how Guardiola's revolutionary tiki-taka clashes with Flick's high-intensity, ruthless efficiency. From record-breaking trophies to game-changing tactics, we uncover what makes these managers true legends. Who truly defines modern football? Watch now to discover their legacies and impact on the beautiful game. Two masterminds, two philosophies, one game transformed forever. Pep Guardiola, the architect of football's poetry, and Hansi Flick, the relentless orchestrator of precision and power. Their legacies collide in a battle of artistry versus efficiency, dominance versus ruthlessness. As their approaches redefine the sport, we delve into the brilliance behind their extraordinary rise to greatness. Pep Guardiola has long been considered the gold standard of football management. He doesn't just win, he revolutionizes how teams play. Guardiola's success is rooted in his iconic philosophy of positional play. This approach emphasizes controlling the game by controlling the ball, with players occupying specific spaces to create passing lanes and overloads in key areas of the pitch. To watch a Guardiola team is to watch football as art, every movement carefully choreographed, every pass part of a larger intricate puzzle. Guardiola's rise to prominence began at Barcelona in 2008. When he took over, the team was talented but disjointed. Within a year, Guardiola had transformed them into the most dominant side in Europe, leading them to an unprecedented sextuple in 2009. At the core of this transformation was the tiki-taka philosophy, a short passing possession-based style that suffocated opponents while creating endless scoring opportunities. One of Guardiola's most iconic moments came in May 2009 during his first El Clásico at the Santiago Bernabéu. Barcelona humiliated Real Madrid 6-2, a scoreline that sent shockwaves across the footballing world. Guardiola's decision to deploy Lionel Messi as a false nine in this match was a tactical masterstroke, creating chaos in Madrid's defensive structure. This match was more than a victory, it was a statement. Guardiola's Barcelona wasn't just playing to win, they were redefining the very nature of football. Fast forward to 2023 and we meet Hansi Flick, a man whose path to greatness has been just as extraordinary, albeit less celebrated until recently. Flick gained global recognition during his tenure at Bayern Munich, a period that can only be described as a meteoric rise. Unlike Guardiola, who had time to implement his philosophy at Barcelona, Flick was thrust into the spotlight mid-season in 2019 after the dismissal of Niko Kovac. At the time, Bayern were floundering in the Bundesliga, sitting in an unfamiliar 7th place. What happened next was nothing short of miraculous. Flick's Bayern Munich didn't just recover, they became unstoppable. By the end of the 2019-20 season, Bayern had won the Bundesliga, the DFB Pokal and the UEFA Champions League, completing a historic treble. What made this team so lethal that no one could stop them? Flick's team wasn't built on possession like Guardiola's, it was built on intensity and precision. His players pressed high, won the ball in dangerous areas and launched rapid, devastating counterattacks. Perhaps the defining moment of Flick's Bayern tenure came in the 2020 Champions League quarter-finals against Barcelona. Bayern didn't just beat Barca, they obliterated them 8-2. It was a ruthless display of efficiency, exposing the vulnerabilities of a tiki-taka system under pressure. What made that victory even more significant was the symbolism behind it. Flick's Bayern team not only eliminated Barcelona but dismantled the very philosophy that had once ruled Europe under Guardiola. For years, tiki-taka had been considered untouchable, a style that no team could solve. Flick's approach flipped the narrative, proving that high pressing and verticality could expose the cracks in possession-heavy systems. The 8-2 scoreline wasn't just a footballing result, it was a philosophical shift, marking the rise of a more direct and modern approach to the game. It's a match that still serves as a blueprint for many coaches looking to counter positional play. That victory wasn't just about goals, it was a symbol of Flick's philosophy at its finest, direct, relentless and merciless. Now let's compare their philosophies more closely. Guardiola's philosophy is built on control. His teams dominate possession, often completing hundreds of passes per game to wear down their opponents. But this isn't possession for its own sake, it's about positioning. Guardiola's players are trained to occupy specific zones on the pitch, creating triangles and diamonds that make them almost impossible to dispossess. The goal is to dictate the tempo of the game and force opponents to chase shadows. Hansi Flick's approach couldn't be more different. His teams prioritize speed and verticality. Instead of controlling the ball for long stretches, they aim to dominate the critical moments that define matches. How did Flick turn Bayern into a relentless goal-scoring machine? His Bayern was renowned for its ability to turn defense into attack within seconds. This style thrives on relentless pressing, disrupting opponents' rhythm and capitalizing on their errors with ruthless efficiency. Rather than slowly dismantling teams over time, Flick's approach focuses on swift, high-impact moments that turn defensive recoveries into immediate attacking opportunities, overwhelming opponents with sheer speed and precision before they can regain composure. Both styles have their merit, but they also have their vulnerabilities. Guardiola's teams, for all their beauty, can sometimes become predictable. Against disciplined defenses that sit deep and block passing lanes, Guardiola's sides have occasionally struggled to find breakthroughs. Flick's teams, while devastating on the counter, can leave themselves exposed if their high press is bypassed. Another key area of comparison is their ability to manage players. Guardiola is known for his intense relationships with his squads. He pushes his players to their limits, demanding perfection in every training session and match. This has brought out the best in players like Lionel Messi, Xavi and Kevin De Bruyne, but it has also led to tensions. Zlatan Ibrahimovic's falling out with Guardiola during their time at Barcelona is a famous example of how Guardiola's perfectionism can sometimes backfire. Flick, on the other hand, is often described as a player's coach. He's known for his excellent communication skills and his ability to build trust within the squad. At Bayern, Flick revitalised players like Thomas Müller and Jerome Boateng, who had been marginalised under previous managers. Müller, in particular, enjoyed a career resurgence under Flick, becoming one of the most effective players in Europe once again. Let's not forget the numbers. Guardiola's trophy cabinet is legendary. He has won over 30 major titles, including 3 Champions League trophies, multiple domestic league titles in Spain, Germany and England, and countless domestic cups. His Manchester City team broke Premier League records for the most points in a season, 100, most goals scored, and most consecutive wins. Guardiola's dominance isn't just about winning, it's about breaking records along the way. Flick's shorter career at the top hasn't given him the same volume of trophies, but the quality of his achievements is undeniable. Winning the treble in his first full season at Bayern Munich is a feat that very few managers have managed in football's history. It's also important to remember the circumstances under which Flick achieved this. Taking over mid-season, inheriting a team in disarray, and restoring their confidence to dominate both domestically and in Europe. The sheer efficiency of his success, particularly during the pandemic-disrupted 2019-20 season, underscores just how quickly Flick can implement his ideas and create a winning culture. In his first full season at Bayern, he achieved the treble, an accomplishment that places him among legends like Guardiola and Jupp Heynckes. But what truly sets him apart? His Bayern team made history by winning every single game in the 2019-20 Champions League campaign, an unprecedented feat that showcased their dominance and efficiency on Europe's biggest stage. But trophies and records are only part of the story. What about their legacies? Guardiola's influence extends far beyond his trophy haul. His innovations in positional play and pressing have shaped modern football. Managers around the world, from youth academies to elite clubs, have adopted elements of Guardiola's philosophy. He has redefined what it means to dominate a game, inspiring a new generation of tacticians. Flick's legacy, while still being written, is already remarkable. His ability to turn Bayern Munich into a winning machine in such a short time is a testament to his tactical brilliance and leadership. Now, as the manager of Barcelona, Flick has the chance to further cement his place among the greats. His early success with the club, highlighted by stunning victories in El Clásico, suggests that he's more than capable of leading Barcelona back to the summit of world football. One fascinating point of comparison is their head-to-head record. While Guardiola and Flick haven't faced off many times, their philosophies indirectly clashed during Bayern's 8-2 demolition of Barcelona. That match, a stark reminder of tiki-taka's vulnerabilities, highlighted the differences between their approaches. Flick's direct, high-intensity football was simply too much for Barcelona's possession-heavy style to handle. But here's the real question. Which approach is better? Is it Guardiola's methodical artistry or Flick's pragmatic efficiency? The answer might depend on what you value most in football. Guardiola's teams are a joy to watch, but their beauty can sometimes come at the expense of pragmatism. Flick's teams, while less concerned with aesthetics, are ruthlessly effective in executing their game plan. Ultimately, both Guardiola and Flick have left an indelible mark on football, but in very different ways. Guardiola has shown us what football can look like at its most elegant, while Flick has reminded us of the power of simplicity and directness. So, who is the better manager? The truth is, it's not a competition. Both Guardiola and Flick have pushed the boundaries of what's possible in football, and the game is richer because of them. Whether you prefer Guardiola's artistry or Flick's efficiency, there's no denying that we are lucky to witness their genius. Who do you think is the better manager, Guardiola or Flick? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more deep dives into the beautiful game. Guardiola redefined beauty and control, while Flick showcased the power of precision and intensity, both shaping football's future in extraordinary and unforgettable ways.